There we go. Perfect. Okay. So the first sign we're going to do is the sign for sport. So the sign for sport is you're going to have two thumbs up. You're going to put them close together, and then you're going to go back and forth like this. It's kind of similar if you remember how we did our how, but how is one hand. So sports is back and forth. Sports. Okay. Then we go on to our next sign is going to be the sign for soccer. The way like we have it listed obviously is there's just a few sports we touch on. If there's any that you can think of, let me know. Sometimes, like I said, the more specific or kind of not rare, but not as common will typically end up being finger spelled, but there are a few out there that we may have not had on our list. Okay, so the sign for soccer is you're going to have your non-dominant hand side up like this. Thumb up or down does not really matter. It just kind of depends on comfortability. I think I kind of rest mine more down like this. Your dominant hand is going to be in this B shape. It's going to come like this, come down, and you're going to hit the bottom of your non-dominant hand. Soccer, soccer, soccer. And so this one comes from making the motion of actually hitting the ball with your foot. Soccer. Then we have football. So football is you're going to have fives. You're going to slightly bend them and face each other. And you're going to go football, football. So like going in together. And the visual for this is that when, football, when they're starting, they're, I know we're from Alabama and I should know this. I drew a blank. Do not judge me, guys. But when they start and they like play, they all tackle into each other. Like that's the motion of football. I love that. I literally drew a blank on that. Football. Okay. Our next one is then baseball, and baseball is going to be baseball. So like you're holding a baseball bat. I've seen that also kind of with softball. Sometimes I typically fingerspell softball. Like I'll do baseball and then I'll go softball to add that emphasis. Because you really wouldn't do anything like, okay, I'm not gonna try to go into too deep with this, but so like for example, softball, you want to do the sign for like soft and then do the sign for baseball because the sign for soft is like it's this, like you open your hand closed, like because it's soft, it's not hard or heavy. But you wouldn't use that sign when doing softball because it's not soft in that sense. You have to think literal. So I don't know why I had to jump on that, but I did because I was sitting here going, I have seen someone do softball before, and I was like, that's not ASL correctly. So I would recommend for softball, baseball, and then fingerspell, softball. Okay, we'll do one more and then we'll review those. The next one I have is track. So for track, it's going to be very similar to our sports sign, except now you're going to have T's. So it'll be T and back and forth. Track. Okay, let's go back. So we had sports, which again was it's those A's going back and forth. I know I said thumbs ups, but I mean, thumbs ups, A's are kind of similar. So you can tell my thumbs are still in the same position. Sports. Then we had soccer, soccer, soccer. Football, football, football. Baseball, baseball. And then track, track. Good. Okay. So I did think about I realized I don't think this is on our list, so I am gonna add this kind of right here just because these are sports that obviously involve a ball. When you are talking about the ball itself, not just like so for example, you're talking about the ball for football. Sometimes sometimes we do call our ball for football. You throw the football around, we play football, that kind of thing. If you were to be talking about the actual ball itself, you would do the sign for ball with it. And so the sign for ball is like kind of an open five, curled, and you go ball, ball, ball. This is also if you're talking about the baseball itself or the soccer ball, those kinds of things, you would add that ball. So it would be football. You would just add that word on. Okay. So our next one we have is basketball. There are two ways I've seen basketball. And one of them is kind of, I don't see it as often. I've seen it a few times. The other one I've seen more common. So the first one for basketball is, oh goodness, what am I doing? There we go. I was about to do volleyball. That's why I had to stop myself. So you're going to have 2 threes. You're going to slightly bend them. And you're going to put them up here and go basketball, basketball, basketball. So it's like the motion of holding the ball and throwing it up. Basketball, basketball, basketball. Mm-hmm. The other way I've seen is basketball, basketball, basketball. And it's again that same motion of when a basketball player is I don't know the words for them. I'm sorry, I'm just not a basketball player. But like when they shoot the ball, they'll do that motion. It's that basketball. Then we have volleyball. So volleyball also has 2 ways. And I've seen these kind of interchange back and forth. So the first one is you're going to have 2 8s like this. And you're going to go volleyball, volleyball, like flicking your fingers up, volleyball, volleyball, volleyball. The other one is volleyball, like you have that kind of hand motion, volleyball, volleyball. I do see this one now that I'm thinking about it. I do see this one more. This one's because we do have volleyball at our school, and so they use this one for volleyball more often. But I have seen this one a few times. It's like you're hitting the ball, volleyball. Okay. The next one we have is swimming. So swimming, super easy. It's swimming, 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 swimming. So it's like if you do oh my gosh, I cannot remember the names of these guys, and I actually do know swim terms. Oh my god, French stroke? No, that's this one. Breaststroke?
Maybe it's breaststroke. Butterfly. Yeah.
It's something. It's one of them. It's that motion kind of deal. So swimming, swimming, swimming. Okay. So our next one we have is swim team. So this is a good one because it's basically going to be the same as you do for any team you're talking about. You're going to do, so you would do swim, and then the sign for team is going to be, you're going to have 2 T's. And if you remember when we did our family way back, and we did the sign for family itself, we started together like this and made a circle. So you're going to do the same thing. Team. 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 Because I remember when we were talking about family, I explained how when you're talking about any kind of group of people, you're going to have this kind of like circular motion. So for team, it's team. I will say that one is not as strongly ASL as it is a little bit more English because it does have that T involved. The more ASL version of it would be that open like team with the C's. But I do see a lot of people nowadays using the T's. It just helps to clarify what you're exactly talking about. So if you did do a T, that's not going to confuse someone. But if they did do this, if they were like saying the baseball group like this, they did that sign, you can be able to think, oh, they're talking about the team, that kind of thing.
Gillian, technically in ASL, this is a group. This is ball though, right? Like
yes.
Yeah, okay.
Yes. Think about when you hold a ball. And if you're holding it kind of like this, like a ball, it's very, I don't know. I always think about the ball shape. Yeah. Okay. Let's go back. So we had ball, which was ball. Then we had basketball. So the first one was with those 3s bent, basketball, basketball, basketball. Then we had the other one for basketball, basketball, basketball. Then we had volleyball, volleyball, volleyball. And then volleyball. This one is just such an awkward one. Like every time it looks like I'm staring at my screen, I'm like, do I look really like this when I make that one? Because it looks awkward. But I think it's just because if you were in person, it would look a little bit better. Volleyball. Then we had swimming, swimming, swimming. And then our swim team, or just team. So we had swim and then team. 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 Okay. So our next ones we have, so the next one for golf is going to be this, basically what you think of when you do golf is, I'm going to stand for this one a little bit so you can see, but it's golf. golf. So the motion of doing with the with the putter. Sorry. Putt golf is the thing though. Putter. Swinging with the putter. Then we have skating. So skating is you're going to have two twos. You're going to bend them again, turn them up, and you're going to go back and forth. Skating. If you were talking about ice skating, I think they do it with one hand, I mean, not one hand, one hook, ice skating. It's that one, yeah. So this is like roller skating, right? The typical skating, and then ice skating. But I have seen both used, kind of context clues kind of piece it together. Then we have, so for skateboarding is going to be, the handshake kind of can depend, is you're going to basically have your non-dominant hand flat. Dominant hand's going to be in that two-person stand, and it's going to be skateboarding. That one also, I'm trying to think because I know also surfing is similar to this. I will double check on those again just to be sure because those can get very similar and can easily flip. Just because, I mean, in the sense they're almost not that they're not the same, but they're similar, as in the way you stand on a board and you're moving. So I will come back to that one. Then we have game. Gosh, stop zooming out. So for game, it's going to be, you're going to have two thumbs up and you're going to go game. 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 And then for challenge, you're going to do similar to game, but you're going to go up. Challenge. 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 So if you were talking about the football game, sorry, you double tap, one tap, doesn't really make a difference. You typically do want to try to do one tap, but double tap is not going to be like completely like they're not going to know what you're talking about. Let's see, we'll do one more and then we'll go back. Okay, so the next one we have is champion/champ. So this one, you're going to have your non-dominant and pointer finger. Your dominant is going to be in that 3 again. Slightly bend it. And you're going to go put it right on top. Champ. 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 Okay. Let's go back. So we had our golf, which was golf. I know I should stand, but we know what I'm doing. Then we had skating. Skating, so the two X's. I love how I call it the two X's, and it's just because in my mind I'm thinking X and X. So here's 2 and here's 2, even though that's really an X would be 1. I don't know why I keep saying it's 2 X's, but this one. Skating. Then we had our skateboarding. Then game. Why do I keep double tapping it? I don't know why. I think I'm just instinctively just like moving my hands too much. Game. And then challenge. 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 And then our champ. 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 Okay. So we have 3/1 more I'm going to add to our list at the end. Signs for sports. I know we're kind of going through them fast. I'm trying to go through them a little bit more so we can get onto our food side a little bit because that one is got a lot more in it. So the next one for win the sign for win is going to be, one way is kind of like you do a celebration sign. So it kind of goes win/celebrate. And you're going to have 2 X's. And you're going to circle them like this. I think about it's when you're like holding the why can't pom-poms, like the handles, when you're spinning them around like this, it's that similar motion of win. Okay. The next one is going to be, so I'm going to show you the sign first and then I'll explain it because it is kind of a hard one to slowly explain beforehand. It's win. Win. So it's like you have your hands open, they come together close, and then one comes on top. Win. 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 Okay. The next one is lose. So for lose, you're going to have your non-dominant hand up. Your dominant hand is going to be in this 2 kind of position, and you're going to slide across. Lose, lose, lose. And you kind of go down more with it, so lose. So I know it can be kind of similar to 2 weeks when we did our 2 weeks. The difference is 2 weeks is going to be the palm is facing down and sliding across, whereas lose is facing up and sliding down. Also, your facial expressions are very much, I think, would help change that, especially if you're talking about like your team lost, your team didn't win, that kind of thing, because you're not going to be sitting here saying, oh yeah, we lost, unless you're being sarcastic, maybe. Still, then I think that would be a little. I don't know. We're super competitive in this household. If we lose, we show it on our face. Okay. So our next one is going to be wrestling. So wrestling is going to be similar to football, except now you're going to have them together already, and you're going to go back and forth. Wrestling, wrestling, wrestling. Okay. So our last one, it's not on the list, but our last one is going to be the sign for Olympics, for the sign for itself. So, okay, what you're going to do is you're basically going to do the sign. It's kind of similar to, I know you have not seen this. I'm just telling you guys now, similar to chains. So like connected things. Okay. And so you're going to have kind of like, you're going to make these 8 formations. You're going to connect them. And you're going to go connecting them. So you kind of just move your hand up and down while you still keep connecting them in the middle. So Olympics. And you don't keep going for Olympics. You stop, I think after 2 or 3 times, just because you know the number of loops. Olympics. But yeah, that's the time for Olympics. Okay, so let's go back through our last 5, I think, and then we will move on to our food signs. So we stopped at champion, so we had win. So the first one was the win/celebrate with our X's, celebrate. And then the other win was win, 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 win. Then we had lose, 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 lose. I'm going to add this. I'm sorry. I know I'm changing. I'm adding a little bit. There also is the sign for fail. That's also similar to the sign for fail. Usually sometimes people will do with the F and say they failed, but lose kind of similar with that sense. So to lose, fail. We have wrestling, wrestling. And then our Olympics. Olympics. Okay. So is everyone good with our sports? Are there any questions before we move on? I know we went kind of fast again, but are there any questions you guys have? Okay. If you do have questions, you can always type them in the chat box, and we'll come back to them if we not if we'll come back to them. Well, I guess we'll come back to them if we have time, since food is very, very long. Okay, so let's move on to now our food. So the first sign we're going to obviously do for food is going to be the sign for food itself. And so for food, you're going to have kind of like this flat O, and you're going to go food, food. And the importance is you do want to make sure you go in front of your mouth and double tap food, food, food. You do want to double tap. And the reason for this is because the next sign we're going to do is the sign for eat. And the sign for eat is one hand. So food is 2, eat is 1. There are a few signs that will do that. And I think we talked about it. Might have talked about it a little bit a few weeks ago. I can't remember. But there are certain signs that you'll kind of notice, especially if you go and do more in depth with ASL, that will do like double motions for like the noun itself, for the noun, and then one motion for the like action, the verb of it. So that's just kind of a nice kind of thing to keep in the back of your mind. So food, eat. Okay. So we're going to start off with our fruits. So the sign for fruit is going to be an F. You're going to put it at the corner of your mouth right here, and you're going to go fruit. 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 Okay. So our first fruit we're going to do is the sign for apple. So apple is going to have our X. And you're going to put it again in that similar spot in the corner of your mouth, and you're going to go apple. 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 Then we have orange. So orange is going to be, it's the same for the color orange. So orange, orange. And you want to put it right in front of your mouth, like orange, orange, orange. And it's like, the visual I have is like you're squeezing the orange for like the orange juice, so orange. Then we have strawberry. So strawberry is going to be, you're going to have a thumbs up, and you want your nail to go on the back, or the nail to go on your chin. Strawberry. Strawberry. Now, if you noticed, if you saw the list that Miss Katie sent out, the next one after that is secret. So the reason for that is not to be totally random and think of there's this new secret fruit or there's a big secret special. No, it is because the sign for secret and the sign for strawberry are very similar, and they can accidentally interchange. And even I can admit to myself that is one that I will constantly be like, I'll do it and I'll go, no, I did that wrong. So like I have to flip it myself. So we have strawberry where our nail is on our chin, strawberry. Secret. No. Oh my gosh, I did it again. Okay. Sorry. This is secret. I knew I was sitting here like secret. Strawberry is your actual thumb touching it. Goodness, why can't I always flip those two?
Here, this is what we're going to remember. It's secret because you're hiding your thumbnail. We're going
That
to
is
remember
so good.
that. Okay. And then it's always going to be that way.
I swear. Even as I was sitting here, I was like, and I think it's because I saw secret and got it flipped. So secret is gonna be the back of your nail, like I said strawberry was. I apologize, guys. I told you they flip so easily. And then strawberry is going to be your actual thumb touching it. Okay. So strawberry, secret. Okay. And I feel like I bet I really would love to know how many times I've done that and someone else is like, Julian, why did you tell me about these two now? Because I still flip them. Or they now flip them. Because I'm like, I feel like I have to tell you, especially if you're talking about like your favorite fruit and you said it was a secret. And then they probably be like, oh, so you don't want to tell me? Like that one actually you could have confusing sentences with. That's why I want to be like, no, 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 it's strawberry. It's strawberry, people. Okay. So our next sign is the sign for grapes. So you're going to have your non-dominant hand flat, and your dominant hand's going to be kind of this open 5, and you're going to go grapes. So you're going to go like tap them on the back of your hand. Grapes. And the visual with this is that it's bunches of grapes connected together. Like your non-dominant hand's all the stems, and your dominant hand is making the dots of grapes. Grapes. Our next one is going to be banana. So banana is going to be very simple. It's your non-dominant hand is going to be a pointer finger. Your dominant hand is going to make the motion of peeling the banana. Banana. I love when there's certain signs that are just like, okay, that's so easy. It makes sense. Does not get complicated like like our secret and our strawberry. Okay. We're going to do one more and then we'll go back because I know we've done a lot on this list. The next one is peach. So peach is going to be peach. Peach. My connection with this is when we think about peach fuzz, like on our cheeks, peach. Peach. Okay. So let's go back. We had food, the double tap, food. Then we had eat, which was 1, eat. Then we had fruit, fruit. Apple, apple. Orange, orange. Strawberry, strawberry. Secret, secret, hiding the thumbnail. I'm gonna have to remember that one, Miss Katie. Grapes, grapes. Banana, banana. and then peach. Peach. Okay, so let's go on to our next one. Our next one is going to be lemon. So you're going to have an L. Your pointer finger is going to go in the corner of your mouth again, and you're going to go lemon, 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 lemon. If you were going to talk about lemonade, you would do the motion for you could do lemon and then aid. I have seen some people do that. You also can do drink like lemon and then drink. That we will do later, but I just wanted to add it here. Drink, so lemon drink. That they'll most of the time will make the connection talking about lemonade. Unless they start to be like, are you talking about juice? And they could be a little, but I feel like most people do not commonly drink lemon juice versus lemonade. So hopefully if they ask you that, they may be teasing you. Okay. So our next one we have is tomato. So tomato is kind of an interesting one because it's actually two signs put together and it really doesn't have its own like sign. So what you're going to do is you're going to do the sign for red and then the sign for slice, and then you put them together.
I have a
So
question. I'm going to stop you right here.
mhm.
Did I share the colors video, y'all? I can't remember if I shared it. Yes. Okay. I'll share it again just in case. But when you did orange, I thought, uh-oh. Also, I want justice for tomatoes.
She loves her tomatoes. I think that was like one of the most disappointing signs when she found out that it did not have its own sign. I'm not a big tomato person, so I was like, oh, that's fine with me. But so we're gonna do the sign for red, which if you guys remember from the video, it's a pointer finger going down. Some people will, I'll add this here. I love how I keep adding more information. We'll do it with the R and go red. Um, Not typical because again, that is more English, not ASL. ASL is the one pointer finger, red. But I did want to let you guys know in case if you ever did see someone doing with the R and you're like, what is that? They could be meaning red. Some areas, some people will do that. So you're gonna go red, and then you're gonna have your non-dominant hand like a flat O again. Pointer finger is gonna go slice. So it's like chopping it. So red slices. Yep, that's our tomato. Okay, so now we're gonna move on to our vegetables. So the sign for vegetables, you're gonna have a V. You're gonna have this pointer finger gonna come to the corner of your mouth, very similar to like we did with our fruit. And you're gonna go vegetable, vegetable, vegetable. So our first vegetable we're gonna do is the sign for corn. There are two ways you can do corn. The first one is with the pointer finger, and you're gonna go corn, corn. So like you're moving your hand in a kind of twistable motion. Corn, corn, corn. The other one is going to be corn, corn, corn. I feel like this one makes a lot, like this one kind of, I do see this one more often, but this one to me always makes more sense because, it's literally eating the corn off the cob. Corn, corn. Okay. Our next one is going to be potato. And so potato is going to be, you're going to have your non-dominant hand of fist. Your dominant hand's going to have that B that you bend, and you're going to go potato. You're going to tap it on top. Potato, potato, potato. So with potato, the sign for potato, that also can be used for potato chips. Again, I've seen them both be used for either way. Again, the context clues kind of come into play. Excuse me. So like, for example, when you're having hot dogs and eating kind of at a barbecue or something, and you're talking about, oh, I want some. They may say this for chips because again, most often when you have hot dogs, you do have potato chips. If you don't, okay, I'm sorry that I made that assumption, but that's what we do in my household, and everywhere I've gone, I've always seen hot dogs with potato chips. So I just safely assume, yeah, that would make sense. But if you were at a situation where you had potatoes and potato chips or things like that, you can always just do potatoes and then do potato chips, like finger spelled chips, to help clarify. Yeah, but most of the time, context clues really does help with our potato chips here. Okay, Our next one, and then I promise we'll stop and go back, is sweet potato. So for sweet potato, it's going to be still potato, but before you're now going to add the sign for sweet. So the sign for sweet is sweet, sweet, sweet. So it's like you brushing your bottom of your chin into coming in close. Sweet, sweet. So sweet potato, sweet potato. And since we did this one, I will say this is also the sign for being sweet. Like, oh, you guys are all sweet. That one as well. That can be used. Some words will not, like some words won't do that. But this is one where being a sweet potato or it being a sweet potato versus you being sweet, it is the same sign. Okay. So let's go back. We had lemon. So lemon, lemon. Then tomato. So the red and then slice. Tomato. Then vegetable. Vegetable. Corn. So the first one was corn. Corn. And then the other one, corn. Corn. Then we had our potato. 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 And then our sweet potato. Sweet potato. Okay. So our next one is going to be now French fries. So the sign for French fries is super easy. It's going to be the sign, it's going to be the letter F, and you're going to go French fries. French fries. Very simple, French fries. Okay. Our next one is going to be cabbage / lettuce. This one I see the same sign more often used for both, but there is a different one for lettuce that I have once or twice seen. So the first sign, the one I see more often, is you're going to have kind of this really bent, like weird C, okay? And you're going to kind of have the palm bent back, and you're going to gently tap it on the side of your head. Lettuce, cabbage. I see them both for this. Okay. The other one I've seen rarely, but I have seen is they'll do an L and go lettuce on the side. Lettuce. I just want to get you guys to like, if you have like, just kind of expose y'all to this one. More often I would do this one just because this is very much more common. Okay. And our next one is going to be pickle. So pickle is going to be, you're going to kind of do, if you remember our P or really our K since it's resting up, your middle finger that's sticking out is going to go back to the corner of our mouth like we've done. And you're going to go pickle, pickle, pickle. And you'll see why when I say the next part, because that'll make sense. Our next sign is the sign for sour and tart. Okay. And it's going to be your pointer finger, and you're going to go right here, and you're going to go sour, sour. Now, what's important with this one is you do want to kind of purse your lips to like show like when you bite into something really sour, your lips kind of, ooh, that kind of motion. Sour. So that's why pickle is right here, is because pickles are typically can be sour. So a little pickle and our sour. Now, the next one I'm about to show, I feel like y'all are gonna be like, whoa, these three are similar. And it's because the next sign is candy. So the sign for candy is the same thing as sour, but typically I don't purse mine as much. I'm doing like candy, candy. So it's the exact same thing, but I think pursing of the lips helps identify when you're talking about something sour versus something like candy, like sweet. Again, that the context clues really do help. Like if you're talking about like, oh, I really, really want like that sweet, like that candy. I want the candy, that kind of thing, or chocolate. There are things you will add with it that kind of help with the candy. If you're talking about sour candy, that one's always an interesting one I think about. I feel like I would probably do candy sour. Like I would make the first motion of it being like a smooth, like resting face, like candy, and then I'd be like sour kind of motion. That's how I would like do my sour candies. Okay, we're gonna do two, no, because we already did sweet. We'll do one more and then we'll go back. So we've already did our sweet. Our next one is going to be now spicy. So for spicy, you're going to have your fingers kind of, if you all remember when we did, I think we did animals was last week. Remember we did dragon with the wiggly fingers coming out like this. Spicy is going to be the same thing, but now reverse. So the flames are going to be, the fingers are going to be at your mouth and you're going to go spicy, spicy. And so it's like the motion of like the flames coming out of your mouth because you ate something that was hot, spicy. And you do want to make sure you move your hand like kind of coming back from you, like the flames are actively coming out. I always think about a cartoon character when they eat like a hot pepper and like they open their mouth like, ah, and the flames just fume out. It's like the same thing. Spicy. That can also be for hot, as in something is spicy hot as well. Because I know we will say, oh, that's hot, like that was hot. And so that you would still use this for. Okay, let's go back. So we had French fries, which was French fries. Then we had cabbage / lettuce, cabbage. Then our pickle. And then sour. And then candy. Then we had a review of sweet. And then spicy. Okay, so our next one is going to be the signs for hot and cold, temperature wise. And so the first one we're going to have is the sign for cold. So the sign for cold is you're going to have two S's kind of come together and you're going to shake cold. Typically you do bring your shoulders up and kind of go cold. Some people, when they're talking about like when they're describing like their food and what it tastes like, they will do the sign for frozen. I had to think of the word because that's another way to help describe like it is cold, like it's frozen. So the sign for frozen is you're going to have your hands kind of straight like this and you're going to freeze, bring them together. Frozen. So if you're talking about, oh, that food, it's cold, like it's frozen, they will do that. Frozen. Okay. So our next one is going to be hot. So hot's going to have this open 5, slightly bent. You're going to have it in front of your face like this, and you're going to go hot. Hot. Now this one is only talking about temperature. Because remember when I said when we do anything about being spicy hot, you would do this. You would continue with the spicy. If it's like, oh, that's hot, like the temperature is too hot. Hot. The nice thing with these two, hot and cold, is that they are the same you can use for if you are feeling hot or cold. Or if it's hot outside, cold outside, whichever, those are still going to be your hot and cold temperature ones. So that's a nice little helpful thing. Okay, so our next one's going to be pizza. There are 2 ways to do pizza. The first one is going to be, you're going to have kind of, it's hard to describe, so I'm going to make the motion of it. It looks like I'm holding a slice of pizza. Like imagine like holding a slice of pizza and you're going to go to your mouth, pizza. So you see like, oh, that is really, I'm just turning it as awkwardly as possible. Pizza. Pizza. I do see this one more often. But when I was learning ASL, I learned it with this next one, which is going to be, again, the V that bends into those 2 X's. And you're going to go Z, pizza. I've learned it that way. And then I came to school and it was constantly pizza. And I went, okay, pizza. Okay. The next one we have is now the sign for salad. So for salad, you're going to have that open 5 slightly bent. You're going to have them kind of palm up and you're going to go salad. So they're going to like cross fingers as you come up. I think about those the handles when like you go to like Olive Garden or whatnot and they toss the salad and they like use the like the tongs to like mix them. Salad. Salad. Mhm. If you were gonna talk about a specific type of salad, like a Caesar salad, anything like that, you would have to finger spell Caesar and then do salad. So that one, there's not really different specific ones for just the different types of salads. Okay, let's do, I think, 3 more and then we'll go back. So our next one's gonna be hamburger. So the sign for hamburger is going to be hamburger. So it's like forming the patties, hamburger. Mhm. So then our next sign is going to be the sign for cheese. So the sign for cheese is you're going to have your non-dominant up like this. And I always try to figure out where I put my thumb. And I think it's because I don't ever think about it when I do the sign. So every time I have to actually look at it, I'm like, wait a minute, I don't know where you go anymore. So that's why I'm like, wait, do I keep you up? Do I keep you down? If I say I keep it up and then I bring it down, just follow the actual signing of it, not me slowly trying to describe it. You're gonna have your non-dominant hands slightly bent like this. You're gonna put it up and then you're going to shake it back and forth. Cheese. Cheese. And I always try to really make sure it kind of goes back when I do my cheese. Cheese. So if you were going to talk about a cheeseburger, you're going to do the sign for cheese and then burger. So cheeseburger. Okay, let's go back. So we had our cold, cold, cold. And then our frozen cold, which was frozen, frozen, frozen. Then we had our hot, hot, hot. Then pizza. So we had pizza. And then the one I sang with this little two X's, pizza, pizza. Then salad, salad. Then our hamburger, hamburger. And then cheese, cheese. And then our cheeseburger, cheeseburger. Okay. So let's see. I'm thinking what we're going to do now is I'm going to jump ahead a little bit since we have about 13 minutes left. I do want to get to some of the phrases. So I'm going to stop there with some of the food if that's okay, because I think it's important to get some sentences. And then we'll try to come back if we have time to the rest of the foods. If we don't, we can always bring it back next week too. So the first phrase is going to be the sign for want, like you want this, want that. And so the sign for want is you're going to start kind of away from me like this. It's similar to how we did our frozen. If you remember, it's kind of like that open, but now flipped. Want, 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 want. So you would go me, want, or you can also do sorry, my hand is like cramping. So like, let's see, I'm trying to think of a food, for example. Let's say I want a hamburger. I would go hamburger, me want. Hamburger, me want. That's kind of the structure of a sentence more so in ASL is where you kind of put the subject first and then you add at the end the verb. But if you ended up doing me want hamburger, that is also okay. It may not be perfect ASL, but you are still going to be able to get that conversation through. I can admit I have a little bit of a tendency where I do go more in that English signing way where I like me want hamburger. I think it's just because with having English as my first language, it's still kind of hard to break that sentence structure. So it is totally fine. I even know some deaf coworkers of mine who still actually sign more in that English sentence structure way. So it's okay. But I did want to clarify, like, that may not be the perfect like ASL formation of it, but it's okay. If someone really raves on you on it, I really hope they don't do that. But if they do, like, I don't even know, because I feel like if someone raved on me and did that, I'd be like, I am sorry, I'm trying, but English, I will try to break my habit of signing in English that way, but I can't help it. So for want, you do the want. Then we have I don't want. So the nice thing with don't want is there are two ways you can do it. The first one is you're going to make this still that motion of want, and you're going to throw it down. Don't want. Don't want. So you still move that want, and then it's like you throw it down. Almost like a little child when they don't want something, they'll grab it and then throw it to the ground. It's that motion. Don't want. Don't want. The other way you can do it is you can add the word not, or the sign for not. So the sign for not is going to be another kind of like thumbs up A. Your thumb is going to go under your chin and come forward. Not. 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 So I could be like, hamburger, me, don't want. Not want. Not want. Okay. The next one is my favorite. So I would say, like, let's see, my favorite, I'm trying to think of something like my favorite food. We'll just do my favorite food is hamburger, that kind of thing. You go, my favorite. So if you remember, I think we did favorite. It's the middle finger, and you're going to touch your chin. Favorite. So my favorite food, hamburger. And if you remember a while back when I explained it, and it got a little complicated, I know. The more so it does get kind of complicated with sentences sometimes. But there is a way where you can do the my favorite food, what? Hamburger. Or you can add that what to like say like you're telling, like you're about to explain it, and then you answer with the hamburger. That is another way you can have that sentence. I know that might complicate things. I'm trying to keep it simplistic, but I'm also trying to think about, like, if you talk to someone and they sign it that way, why they sign it that way. So we're going to do one more and then we'll go back through these sentences. What is your favorite? So you're going to start with the your, which is going to be open palm towards them. Your favorite. Well, you do want to add what type of favorite you're talking about. I realized I was about to say your favorite what? And they're going to be like, my favorite what? Like what? What kind of thing are you asking exactly? So your favorite food, what? What? Okay. So let's go back. We had I want, which was want, want, want. So I want, I always love doing this one for Halloween. I want candy. I want candy. Me want candy. Then we had the don't want. So the first don't want was the bring in like want and then throw it down. Don't want. Don't want. And then we had the not want. Not want. Not. So let's see. Pickles, don't want. Pickles, don't want. Okay. And then we had my favorite. So my favorite. And then we had the what is your favorite? So your favorite what? What? Okay. All right. So the next little bit of our sentences we have our list of words. Trying to go through these. Is going to be the sign for more. So this one you've probably actually seen a lot more often, and you might have not realized it. A lot of people will teach their babies this one, and it's the sign for more. So it's going to have two O's, and you're going to bring them together. More, 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 more. Then we have the sign for less. So the sign for less is going to be your non-dominant hand's palm up. Dominant hand's going to kind of do this, and you're going to bring it down. Less, less. less. So you're making that height movement of I don't want that much. I want a little bit, I want less than that. Less. Okay. So we have I can. So the sign for can is you're gonna have two yes S's and you're gonna go can. Can. So it's kind of like our when we did our yes in the beginning. Can. 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 All right. Our next one is can't. I can't. So this one will be doing, it has its own sign. And you're going to have two pointer fingers. You're going to have your non dominant sideways. Dominant is going to literally hit your finger and go down. Can't. I can't. Can't. Another thing I do want to add real quick here is that it is very important for facial expressions to really help emphasize what you're saying. So if someone's asking you something and they're asking like, can you do this? And you're saying, yeah, you can. Like I would be nodding my head like, I can, I can. Or if I'm saying like I can't do it, I would be like, I can't. Like I would shake my head, I can't do this. That sort of thing. Just to help with the sentence a little bit. Okay. Our next one is like. So I like and or I like. So the sign for like is you're going to have your middle and your thumb. You're going to start on in the center, kind of at your chest, kind of open like this, and you're going to pull it to an 8. Like, like. So you could say like, I like lemons. I don't know. I'm trying to think of something. I like apples. That sort of thing. Okay, like. Our next one is do not like. And this one is very similar to our want, where we have two ways to do it. The first, well, actually, we'll start with the second one. The second one is the not like, where you can add that not in front of the like. Not like, don't like. The other one, again, similar to that want, is you're going to do the like and throw it away. Don't like, don't like, don't like, don't like. Okay. Let's do our last little 3, and then I promise we'll review, and then we'll let you guys go. So the next one we have is need. Need is going to be an X, and you're going to go need. You're going to tap it. Need. Need. And then for don't need, you're going to do the sign for not. So not need. Don't need. Not need. It's really helpful, this not one, because you can just kind of help it put it in front of the word that you're trying to say the opposite of. That does really seem to help. It is commonly used like that. Okay. The next one we have is the sign for allergic. So the sign for allergic, I'm going to show you it first and then I'll describe it. It's allergic, allergic, allergic. And so you're going to come close to your nose. You're going to have your two pointer fingers kind of near like this, and you're going to pull it away from it. Allergic, allergic, allergic. Some people will do it kind of like, I don't think the direction itself matters too much, but you'll go allergic, allergic. And the reason you have it from your nose is because most of the time, if you are like allergies, like pollen, things like that, typically will affect your nose. Allergic, allergic. And that does not only return to food, but it can also apply to like weathers, like, oh, it's allergies right now. It's my allergies, allergies, that kind of thing. Okay. So I know we did a lot in that last little bit. Let's review them real quick and then we should be soon done. So we had more, which was more, more. Then less, less, less. Then I can, so can, can. Then can't, 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 can't. Oh, we did that one. Like, like, like. And then don't like. Not like or don't like. Don't like. This one also does kind of come with a face, like a little face, like you make kind of an attitude face when you do it. Like, I don't like that. Don't like. And then need, and then not need, and then allergic, 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 allergic. So this, yes. So Miss Katie asked if we could do peanut and peanut butter real quick. I think that is important, especially with allergies. So peanut. The sign for peanut itself is going to be you're going to have your thumb, and the nail is going to actually hit your teeth and pull forward.
That is the
Peanut.
weirdest sign.
I know,
It's
just
so weird.
peanut. Like you're actually going to put like your nail behind your teeth and go forward. I know that is the weirdest thing. Peanut. I have also seen this just for generalized nuts, just any kind of nuts. If you're if it's a specific one like tree nuts or like almonds or anything like that, you can do nuts and then finger spell to be specific. And then we had peanut butter. Peanut butter is going to be peanut. And then the sign for butter is going to have your non-dominant hand palm up. You're going to have like a 3, but your 2 fingers are together. And you're going to like brush it on it. So peanut butter. Peanut butter. Okay. So I know that was a lot, and we didn't even get to finish all the food. We can we can get back to them next week with those. Are there any questions you guys have real quick? I know this was kind of I feel like this was a very content heavy class. Any questions you guys have? Okay.
Listen, if nobody has questions right now, let me know if you have questions once you review the lesson or have time to think about it. Next week, we have occupations left and like places related to occupations. I think we had like hospital or, library, stuff like that. But we will have time, I think, that we could finish some of the food if y'all want to. So.
Yes, definitely. So if you guys have any questions, or you think of any throughout the rest of this week, you're more than welcome to email Miss Katie and we will get back to them next Tuesday. So, well, I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of y'all's week, and I will see you guys all next Tuesday. Bye, guys.
Bye, everybody.